and we will never accept it as South Africa. And while we appreciate the role that the Organization of African Unity played in us achieving our freedom as South Africa, this decision of the AU Commission chairperson will make us consider whether we can be present in the African Union.
Welcome to Tunachiki's Africa React. I'm your host, Mikey Mushi, and this is a show where we go online and react to viral videos concerning the African continent. Today's video, we will be reacting to the reason why Israel had been revoked the observer status of the African Union. Before we do that, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It's the best way to let YouTube know this is a good video, and it will recommend it to more like-minded people like you. So let's get to the reaction quickly.
We are faced with a very challenged world. I realized this when in 2021 I was sitting in a summit of the Executive Council of the African Union, and it was whispered to me that the African Union Commission chairperson had issued an invitation to Israel to become an observer at the African Union. Imagine my horror. I decided at that moment that I would raise my arm and would propose that this decision be rescinded. I walked around the room seeking supporters. Of the 54 nations, I got 3. And I include SADC in that. But I said, nevertheless, this is not going to happen. I therefore lifted my arm and said, I wish to table a matter. I have learned of this, and as South Africa, we object to it, and it must not be implemented. We want our leaders to discuss it. And we will never accept it as South Africa, and while we appreciate the role that the Organization of African Unity played in us achieving our freedom as South Africa, this decision of the AU Commission chairperson will make us consider whether we can be present in the African Union. I thought I would get support from many of the countries gathered in the room. But what I discovered is that countries that are oppressors, that continue to be colonial occupiers, are using financial muscle to provide grant in aid to African countries and secure the depoliticized support of African countries for these oppressive nations.
So last year, the African Union Commission put Israel as an observer without consulting the states. And this brought in an uproar, and countries like South Africa, Algeria, and many others completely disagreed and told the African Union Commission that Israel is not welcome because of their activities in Palestine, because many African countries consider Israel as an apartheid state, colonizing Palestine, right? So that is the reason why this accreditation was revoked. So the Africa in general, the African bloc, has voted against Israel in the UN when they accuse Israel of committing crimes against humanity in Palestine. And all African countries are for a two-state solution when it comes to the Israel-Palestine issue, right? So many African states were wondering, why is this country that we're constantly voting against and we constantly disagree what they do to their neighbors, right? Because they really persecute their neighbors. Why should we let them into a bloc where we've had history of that, right? So this is the reason why Israel was not welcome in the African Union Summit and will never be welcome in the African Union until it changes its behaviors drastically as it concerns to Palestine, right? Furthermore, to let you know how petty Israel is, right? As a rebuttal to this embarrassment, right, that they call it, they say that the African Union is held hostage by terrorist states that hate Israel. You know, the basic anti-Semitism, the basic anti-Jew, the basic excuse they use to anybody who's critical at Israel, at all the inhumane things they do, right? Like if anybody criticizes Israel, they're anti-Semites, they're terrorists, the basic idiotic excuses that they use, right? So they tried to use it again. So the African Union Commission is investigating how this lady got into the African Union Summit, right? Because, Israel tried to use some tricks, right? Because they knew they were not allowed in the African Union Summit. So they tried to sneak in the ambassador. So what they did is that they had the Israeli ambassador to the AU invite this diplomat, right, as a guest. But no, that doesn't work, right? So after being alerted by Algeria and South Africa, this ambassador was swiftly removed from the session. And let's went on as usual. The African Union Summit really went well. Let us know what you think of the African Union Commission chairman Musa Faki's move to even bring up Israel in the African Union observer status to begin with, right? Knowing what we know about the country, right? So give us your opinions, let us discuss, and give us suggestions of this whole observer thing. Does the African Union even need observers to begin with? Should we kick out the rest of the other observers that are currently there? Thank you for watching. This has been Mekimushi, and with that said, always remember, Africa is watching.
Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to receive updates on our latest videos. And always remember, Africa is watching.